books.
Yep.
I have paragraphs from the banned books here today. I would love for you to read one to the camera.
Yeah, absolutely. Which one do you want me to read?
This one right here. You can hold it.
My swell up, think daddy. Daddy, sick me, disgust me, but still he sucks me up.
And when did they even start adding this stuff to schools, bro? I know I'm getting older, but I ain't that old. I don't remember these books even being around when I was in school.
You support this book being banned?
No, I wouldn't.
Okay, so you think 10-year-olds should have access to this?
I do.
Yeah. Why
Just
so?
like any other book.
Should this be in a public school?
Yeah, why not? What's the problem with it?
Woo! That's a lot.
It's a little bit, isn't it? Yeah, it's a little bit.
Yeah.
Should this be banned?
I don't think so.
Would you be okay with your daughter having access to that in a public school?
Yes,
Okay. Why so?
because it's words on paper.
Okay.
Yeah.
What do these words talk about?
Sex,
Okay. What kind of sex?
oral, anal, vaginal,
Okay. And you would be what age would you be comfortable with her having access to this information?
any age.
You should be on a walk.
No, you're insane, bro. I don't even understand these parents. They should be on a list somewhere. They should honestly be on a list. You want your 6-year-old daughter to just read any type of information? They don't even let kids watch any type of movies. They have ratings for movies, but you don't have a ratings for the books that your child reads. You're a terrible parent. I'm not gonna lie. Nonetheless, this video is about it's titled "Pride Wants Kids to Read These Nasty Books." I'm interested to see what the books are. So far, I'm not getting such a good impression from these parents. They sound a little crazy, if I'm being honest. But nonetheless, let's continue. Bro, I'm tired of all the lies. Everybody lies. And if you tired of the lies too, check out Ground News. If you guys don't know, Ground News is a site that shows you the left and right side of the spectrum. It cuts through all the noise, cuts through all the crap that you don't want to see no more. It's 2025. An example of this is this story. Trump says Putin playing with fire and new jab at Russian leader. If you look at the left, a storyline is Trump admits protecting Putin over Ukraine. He's playing with fire. West Hawaii today. And if you look at the right, it says Trump will walk away from Ukraine. Obviously, different headings for the same exact story, and this is not just me. In the coverage details, we can see that there's 350 total stories. 51 leaning left, 60 leaning right. And Ground News also shows you the bias distribution. Shows you 32% of the stories for this are left and 38% are right. This is actually pretty even. Shows you the factuality, shows you all that. Ground News also has something that I think is pretty cool called the blind spot. The blind spot shows you the stories that are not being shown on the left or right. I love Ground News, and I don't do sponsorships over here. I don't do sponsorships, but I'm doing this one because Ground News, they don't play no games. They'll lead you in the right direction. If you like Ground News, hit up ground.news/LFRJojo for 40% off the Grant Vantage subscription. Anyways, let's get back to it.
Watch list.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
Because you know what would happen if they went into the men's restroom looking like that? Probably get raped or made comments or harassed or bullied. And I'm done with this conversation.
How do you feel about the women who don't want people like that in their restroom?
Yeah, I'm done. Thank you. Have a good day.
All right, we're off to a good start. We are at a specific youth pride event in St. Petersburg, Florida. If you are new to my channel, you've never watched me, this is my alter ego, genitalia. I do not actually believe in this stuff, and I would never wear this. Anyway, I'm here to dress the part. Don't click away from the video if you're conservative. You want to be here, hit that subscribe button and notification bell. Let's get going. There were recently, I think just last week, upwards of 600 books were removed from the Hillsborough County public school system. Did you hear about that?
I didn't hear that, but I'm not surprised.
Yeah. Are you against books being banned from elementary schools, middle schools, high schools?
I am, absolutely.
Perfect. So I have some paragraphs from the banned books here that got removed from those schools, and so I'm just going to give you one.
All right.
And I'm going to let you read it. So here's this one. I'm going to let you read it until you don't want to read anymore, so go ahead.
Okay. Should I read the title of it or no?
It doesn't matter.
I remember I once... Okay. Okay. I remember I once gave a job to this guy who had a bunk bed. So he's kind of sitting up, but the ceiling is low. So she's also curved over, and I have my face in his lap, but the bed is against a wall 2, so I have to bend my knees, but I'm a little too tall, so my knees are pushing into the wall. My feet are on the ceiling. His head keeps banging in the ceiling, and I'm trying to bob my head up and down. We ended up throwing a blanket on the floor and 69ing, which worked so much better, and we were able to enjoy ourselves.
Are you Dad? Okay, Dad, I'm not gonna include you in this part. Do you agree with her about the books being banned, how they should not be banned?
Absolutely.
Okay, so I want you to read the beginning of this banned book for me.
Okay. He began to knead his fists against the opening of my vagina, inserted his fingers into 3 or 4 at a time. Something tore. I began to bleed there. I was wet now and made him excited. He was intrigued as he worked his whole fist into my vagina and pumped it.
Would you like to kind of join us in doing like a mock-up of people reading from his banned books?
Sure, yeah.
Okay, so I'll give this one to you. You can hold it. You can read the captions. This is a comic book. This is from the book called Gender Queer. Go ahead and read.
Fast forward, we've been dating for 2 months and we've made out, we've had sex, we've moved on to sexting at work. I got a new strap-on harness today. I can't wait to put it on you until it fit it in my dildo perfectly. You are going to look so hot. Welcome to the library.
And you can keep reading until you don't want to read anymore or you get uncomfortable.
Yeah, I'm good. I don't feel like reading anymore.
You don't want to read anymore?
No.
Why not?
It's just, I don't feel like reading it anymore.
I can think of no better place to start Pride Month than here at Family Day.
Okay, absolutely. Family Day, Pride, Family Day. Awesome. So you know about DeSantis banning books,
Of course, yeah.
and how do you feel about that?
Oh, it's ridiculous.
Yeah.
You know, books are meant to be read. You know, it's getting to a real scary place when we're telling.
Yeah, books are meant to be read, but they're not meant to be read by everybody. You don't want your 7-year-old impressionable son reading random books about anything. That is insane. This is insane. How did we even get to this point? You're a father. I'm not saying you should completely censor everything your child sees because that's not realistic either. But books, language, television, art has age ranges. Once your child gets to a certain level, they'll be exposed to everything. Once your kid turns 18, you're exposed to the world. You're exposed to paying taxes. You're exposed to everything. But when they're 7, you don't need to see that stuff. You don't need it. Like, have some innocence for your child. This is getting crazy.
Telling people what they should and should not read now.
Children.
Yeah,
Telling
absolutely.
children. And you don't think we should be telling children what they should and should not read?
Absolutely not. No.
Okay. I'm going to have you read from one of the banned books.
Sure.
This is Jack of Hearts and Other Parts. So here's this. And read until you're either uncomfortable or you don't want to read.
Sorry, I'm going to look stupid for holding it so close to my face, but
No,
I
you
have
won't.
bad vision.
No, it's okay.
I remember I gave a job to this guy in a bunk bed, so he's kind of sitting up, but the ceiling is low, so he's almost curved over, and I have my face in my lap. But his bed is against the wall, so I have to bend my knees. I'm a little too tall, my knees are pushing into the wall, and feet are in the ceiling, and his head keeps banging the ceiling. I'm trying to bob my head up and down. I ended up throwing a blanket on the floor and 69ing and working so much better that we're able to enjoy ourselves. Some are very specific, having their neck licked while you take me from behind, and some are so much more vague. I like you, and now you've made it talking through my erections. Finally, some tips.
You can stop whenever you want.
Oh, it's up to you.
It's up to you.
Oh, yeah, you know, my words don't bother me.
Okay.
Use your hugs, not suck. Use your lips to pull. You're not trying to yank your dick off with your mouth. Lots trying to make it feel good. Use your tongue, lots of different ways. Ask them what works for them. Them? Okay. Use your hand, stroke off the shaft too big to swallow, or grip on his balls. Don't touch, taint, or finger his ass. Don't forget you have hands. His shake is different. And sometimes the same dick, different day as today. So always try new things, like the head, like the shaft, vice versa. Listen for the moans and the breathing. Juggle what parts of your mouth you're using and what parts you're using on the arm.
All right, perfect.
Yeah.
Would you be okay with your daughter having access to that in a public school?
Yes,
Okay. Why so?
because it's words on paper.
Okay.
Yeah.
What do these words talk about?
Sex,
Okay. What kind of sex?
oral, anal, vaginal,
Okay. And you would be, what age would you be comfortable with her having access to this information?
any age.
Bro. And I get it. You should be able to live life however you want to live. I'm not even trying to go against people's rights or anything along those lines. I'm just trying to say, at the end of the day, we have to get some level of protection back to our youth in the United States. There's a difference between being an adult and being a child, and what we're trying to do now is blur those lines in a way that's just unhealthy, and it's showing in this video. It's a difference if you want to celebrate this, if you want to do this, live your life. You're a grown woman or a grown man, but subjecting children to it or subjecting even your children to it is just, it's not right.
We just have bigger dicks and we're here. Just saying. And this is The Gay Book by Juno Dawson.
Yeah.
Yes. Well, that's a lot. Yeah. Is this, however, for what age limit would that be? And are they not seeing the same, and if not worse, in most of the TV shows, especially the ones that are geared to teenagers?
But do we have unfettered access to those certain TV shows in public schools?
Yes, I believe we do.
Yeah.
Where have you seen just random
I
TV
think I'm
shows?
going to be done with this interview, though.
Okay.
Thank
so would you support this book being banned?
No, I wouldn't.
Okay, so you think 10-year-olds should have access to this?
I do.
Yeah. Why
Just
so?
like any other book.
Do you think this should be in elementary schools and middle schools?
No, not that book.
Okay.
Yeah, but that's not going to be in elementary schools.
It was.
Yeah. Well, so you're
It wasn't.
You're really on the other side, aren't you? About
What other side would I be on?
like let's ban the books.
Let's ban this book.
Yeah.
Do you think this should be banned from high schools and middle schools?
I think probably high school would be okay.
Banning it should be in high schools?
Yeah, they probably kids know about 69. They know about jobs. I mean, do I want my kids to read that? Not really.
Okay, but it should be available for someone else's kid to read.
No, I'm just saying I don't think that the government should come in and start, saying what people can and can't read.
I remember I once gave a job to this guy who had a bunk bed.
Jack of Hearts, right?
Yeah.
The book?
Yes.
Jack of Hearts, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know what the book is.
Should that be read to children?
Who's reading it to kids?
I'm asking if it should.
That's it. Your question doesn't have any validity because you're asking a random question out of context.
Should this
I
be read to
should I
children?
read a Playboy magazine to children? It doesn't
No,
make sense.
I could answer that, and
But
I could
if
say
there's
no.
if there's a book and it's in a school, it's not like have you been to a school recently? My kids are in school, right? I go to the libraries, I volunteer. There are sections. They don't let the fucking little kids in the young adult section of the library. It's just not how it works. Those books are available everywhere. Taking them out of schools makes absolutely no sense because what are you protecting anybody from?
Okay. You
doesn't make
don't
any
know what a kid could
I have
end up
kids.
being exposed
I
to
have
with
kids,
that.
but kids are exposed to that kind of stuff. Have you been on the internet? Have you watched cable TV? Unless
Yeah, I also don't think kids should have unfettered access to the internet either.
Around your kid, that's
Should this be in a public school?
Yeah, why not? What's the problem with it?
What's being depicted here?
I'm a Catholic too. Like you
Oh,
picked
wow.
the wrong one. Like
No,
I
I'm
don't
a
think-
Catholic too.
I don't think any of this matters in any way, shape, or form. It's
What
about
does the
how
Catholic
you
Church
raise
teach
your
about
kids.
family?
It's about how you raise your kids.
Who's going around?
So do you think, would you be okay with your daughter reading this in a public
She
school?
wants to ban. She doesn't want to ban books. I'm
Nah.
just going to tell you what's going
Gotcha,
on here.
yeah.
And yeah, you're on camera now.
Would
How
you be okay with her
like
reading that?
Yeah, and you know what? We just looked up that book, and that isn't even in the book. You're so inauthentic.
Oh, it's not in the book.
Exactly.
So you
Yeah,
looked
if you
up.
look up the review.
Yeah.
It says there's nothing about sex spoken in there. It says fade to black.
Oh, okay.
something, yeah.
All right. Well, you want to do a
okay.
different one?
Oh, okay. You know what?
This
You're
book is
so
called Gender
inauthentic.
Queer. Do you want to do that one?
You're so inauthentic, and that's why I don't like people
Okay.
like you
Okay.
and DeSantis and Trump. Okay?
You're
Because-
okay with books being in schools for children to access that talk about sex, masturbation, and very, very confusing gender stuff. They literally parked. Well, look. They parked on the side in the middle of the street. In the middle of the street to get out. When you expose these people and you challenge their belief system and have them actually look at what they support, they get insane enough to where they stop in the middle of the street on a public road and get out of their car. We're keeping her off on our own accord because we don't think that she should hear this stuff.
Okay.
And we don't think that she should have access to this in public
Why not?
schools.
Why not?
I don't think children should have access to things about
Why?
oral sex
Why not?
because it goes against parental rights.
Why? Why does it go? But my rights are not to read it in the house.
Yeah, so you can get it in your house and read it to her for bedtime.
Yeah, I could.
Since your shirt says read banned books,
Yeah.
I have paragraphs from the banned books
No
here
way.
today. I would love for you to read one
Sure.
to the camera.
Yeah, absolutely. Which one do you want me to read?
This one right here, you can hold it.
Okay. All right. My swell up, think daddy. Daddy, sick me, disgust me, but still he sex me up. I'm nauseous in my stomach.
And when did they even start adding this stuff to schools, bruh? I know I'm getting older, but I ain't that old. I'm not that old. I don't remember these books even being around when I was in school. Like, what has been going on? What has been going on in this past decade, bruh? Who even inspired this being taught in schools? This was not around when I was in school. I promise it wasn't. Let me know if it was around when y'all was in school, because I don't remember this subject. I don't remember even this being a concept. My teachers would have never even dreamt of reading this to me. So the fact that this is a thing, let me know if this was happening when y'all was in school, because I don't remember this subject.
But hot, tight in my and I think I want it back. The smell of the bedroom, the hurt, he slapped my face till it sting, and my...
You can read until you're done, or you could read the whole thing, or until you're uncomfortable.
Yeah, that's okay. So what are you guys doing this all for?
We're just having people read the
Right.
banned books.
Yeah, nice, okay. So, let's see. He slapped my face till it sting, and my ears sing separate songs from each other. Call me names, pump me, put in and out, and all I come. Woo! That's a lot.
It's a little bit, isn't
Yeah.
it? Yeah, it's a little bit.
Yeah.
Should this be banned?
I don't think so.
It is for the parent to decide whether to take a kid into a movie or not. It's a parent's responsibility.
Exactly.
And there are certain things that, depending on the situation, one child needs one piece of information, another one needs another piece of information.
What type of situation would a child need a piece of information about how the amygdala of gay men is more responsive, so that makes their dicks bigger and makes them funnier?
I do not know.
You think that a kid should have access to this, though?
I think that the parent should make the decision about whether that's appropriate or not.
So what about the parents who voted for DeSantis overwhelmingly in this state, and he ran on banning these books from public schools? Did the parents speak up?
People need to start tolerating different beliefs, and
Nah, I'm not tolerating that ever. You can't tolerate every belief, bro. What in the world? Oh my gosh. Ugh. Anyways, let me know what you guys think about this video. You probably think it's insane, I know, but just like the video so the YouTube can push my content out. My name is LFR Jojo, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.